How does God support us in our times of need? You may not see this as strongly, but it's ministry. For you and I to be volunteers, for you and I to join into the ministry of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Notice what he says here, along about where I was talking about Mark. When he says, Timothy, bring Mark with you because, he has my parchments, he has my scrolls. But notice what he says, bring him with you because Mark is helpful to me in my ministry. You mean Paul was still ministering in his prison cell? Yeah. Because as soon as they got him out of there and he had his first offense, he told everybody about Jesus Christ. You need Jesus. You need to get saved. Let me tell you why. And he used that time to minister. And then I bet with guards, he never looked at them like, you mean creatures, why are you treating me this way? He looked at them and saying, they need Jesus. And so he ministered. And he says, Mark can be a great help to me. I'm not quite sure how Mark would be a great help to him, but he was. Can you see that sometimes we get out of our down depression by getting active? I know you believe that in your own lives. And right here, Paul's saying, listen, ministry continues. I'm in a stinking cell. There's no hope. I know I'm dying and going to die, but I'm still ministering into that last moment. I wonder, as he was on that walkway to his execution, if he was talking to the very executioner, or if he's talking to the guys escorting him. I don't know. It's conjecture, but it sounds like Paul, doesn't it? So his ministry was now in prison. It wasn't in missionary travels anymore. And his ministry was given strength by the Lord who stood with him. And his ministry was the message of Jesus Christ to the Gentiles. Some of you have never thought about jumping into ministry here at Dorseyville. I want to encourage you to do so. You can do it in multiple ways. Not only are there always pleas for helpers with children, but there's always pleas to join in with Panera Bread, or to join in with cleanup, or to join in with making coffee, to join in with mops every other week, to join in a small group as a leader or somebody who opens up their house. There's going to be multiple opportunities, and I just want to encourage everybody here that ministry is calling you. And all we're asking here is to do one thing well. You might have the time to do more, but one thing well in service to the Lord. And always, whatever we do with the gospel's message in mind. And so our response to this support of God in ministry is to jump in. We could sure use you here. And there's really no excuse in the end. So jump in if you haven't already and help out wherever there is a need. If you don't know where there's a need, see Scott or myself and anyone else that you might know as leadership here. They would be glad to sort it out with you. There was an example of an elderly widow. She's in her 80s. She had lost her husband some years ago. She was becoming very slow and unable to really go great distances. And so she couldn't go to church and minister. She desperately wanted to minister, and she was praying, Lord, what can I do? And she finally, it dawned on her through her prayer that she could do something unique. Place an ad in the Oakland, California newspaper. And the ad would simply say, call me if I can play a hymn on the telephone for you. Simple. She started getting calls. Well, what hymn would you like to hear today? I'd like to hear how great is our God. So she played on the phone, and then oftentimes she'd have chances just to talk a little bit about Jesus and about faith and about hope. And after a few months, she's had hundreds of calls and hundreds of opportunities to play the piano with him, or hundreds of chances just to be an encourager right there in her home. Her little prison at that point in her life. So let's jump in together. Finally, God supports us with other Christians. And this is hard because Paul's been abandoned by this Demas guy. He's been abandoned by Alexander. He's also sent away some really good guys like Crescent, and he's sent away Titus. He's got Luke with him, that's nice. He wants others. He's got friends far away like Aquila and Priscilla, like Pudens and Linus and Claudia. He's got friends. But the only one right there with him is Luke. And he craves others like Mark and Timothy. It really goes to show that we're a community. We're not individual Christians by ourselves until we're called home to heaven. We're in a community just like this. And you've heard our two mottos here. We want you to grow spiritually, grow relationally. And that means me, little loner me, who needs to get get out of my shell and meet more and more people. You might equally have my personality where you like to be alone, but you really need other Christians. So Paul needed them. The great Apostle Paul wanted other Christians around him. So one of our fundamental beliefs is for you and I to be changed through the Bible and be changed through relationships with other Christians. This is the small group mentality we're going to create here. It's a slow percolating effort. And in the next month, I'm going to be calling some of you to join my small group. And other people will be calling you to join their small group. And over time, we're going to encourage everybody to join a small group, knowing that some of you are just going to be reluctant. But the great response we can have to this support of God to other Christians is this. In time, we're going to be asked to be a part of something here. And to form a relationship, whether it's a ministry or a small group or something else, I just want to encourage you to say yes and give it a shot. Be with other people. Whether they're in the same life situation or the same spiritual growth position, or whether you're new and you don't know anybody at all, still say yes and get to know a few people in our church as time goes by. So what Paul's going through is not unusual for Christians. Helen in Eritrea has this very difficult life that she lives as a faithful follower of Jesus Christ. Let me end with two quotes. I hope they're up there on the screen. I'm not quite sure I did them, are they? Yeah, but they're not done well. We'll change the font, won't we? For the next service, we'll make it white. Don't worry about it now. The first quote is by Maud Rodin. What a name. Maud Rodin. When she wrote, "When you have nothing left but God, then you become aware that God is enough." Don't let it get to the point where you have nothing but God. Because God blesses us with a lot. But sometimes it does get to that point where nothing is all we have but God. And then finally, C.S. Lewis, that wise Englishman, said, "He who has God and many other things has no more than he who has God alone." That puts possessions kind of in its place. Useful, nice, comforting, but nothing compared to God. God's standing with you right now. Whatever problem you have, respond to His presence in your life and let Him strengthen you to keep going ahead with your faith intact, and you're not alone. Let's bow. Father, Hear, O Israel, the Lord is God. The Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. That was not only, Father, for the nation of Israel, but it was for your church. Father, forgive us for oftentimes just going through the misery alone. But strengthen us through this word in Paul's letter. It's meant to say, you're here. You are here, oh Father. Sometimes we just need to know it in a profound way, and sometimes we just need to remember it and then trust. So bless your people with your presence this morning. May they lean on you. May they cast all their anxiety upon you because you care for us. Thank you, Father, for that promise. We give it to you now in Christ's name.